I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Hey everybody, this is Jason Dean with the JoBlo Movie Network. Hollywood has been fascinated with destroying vehicles on film since movies could be made. So let's count down our favorite top 10 movie car crashes. Number 10 is the classic Bill Murray comedy Groundhog Day from 1993. Normally people don't associate iconic car crashes with this movie, but the moment when Phil drives off a cliff with the groundhog is one of those particularly satisfying thuds when the pickup truck slams into the ground. This suicide attempt by Phil would normally be one of those eye-rolling moments, since the truck blows up shortly afterwards in the totally typical Hollywood old-school method. But it's used for a laugh in this dark comedy, which still makes it work.
He might be okay. Well, no, probably not now.
Number 9 is the 2005 Keanu Reeves genre film Constantine. This film has lots of great moments and is pretty highly underrated if you ask me, but there's a short scene near the beginning that is extremely jarring that makes it on our list. When Manuel, a Mexican scavenger, finds the Spear of Destiny, he turns to leave with it only to be hit by a speeding car. Only the car looks as if it hits a completely immobile object. Manuel is immediately resurrected by the spear and then continues on his way, leaving the car nearly split in half. It's a great scene and one that is forgotten by many. The Blues Brothers is known for a variety of moments, quotes, and characters, but one thing it has more than anything else is car crashes. In fact, so many vehicles were damaged or destroyed during the making of the film that it sent the production budget into a death spiral to where the movie almost didn't get made. It ended up being the most expensive comedy ever made at the time, mostly due to the vehicular destruction. Having said that, there's several times in the film we see loads of cars crashing, but this scene with the cop cars here in Chicago is probably my favorite, and that's why it lands at number 8. You know we couldn't make a list like this without some kind of racing movie ending up on here. But did you think that movie was going to be Talladega Nights? Will Ferrell is one of the hardest working comedians today, and his take on the world of NASCAR as Ricky Bobby is one of his best roles. Once again, this movie is another one that includes quite a few crashes throughout the film, but this one crash in particular just seems to go on and on forever for the sake of comedy, and is certainly the best moment to help it rank at number 7 on our list.
To rest in a big cloud of smoke. Ricky Bobby appears to be okay, but that Wonder Bread car is toast.
Fantastic.
Number 6 is painful to watch if you're a fan of Aston Martin vehicles. The character of James Bond was once again redefined when the hard-edged Daniel Craig took over for the iconic role for Casino Royale in 2006. It makes it on our list because of the destruction of the Aston Martin DBS V12 he drives in the movie. However, Aston Martin didn't actually finish their production model at this point, so the car you see being flipped several times is actually a modified Aston Martin DB9, made to look like its higher-end counterpart for the movie. I'm an unapologetic fan of the entire Matrix trilogy, including the animated short films known as the Animatrix. Sadly, I know I'm on an island by myself in that regard, but I'm fine with that. I also happen to think the highway chase scene in The Matrix Reloaded is probably one of the best, most engaging action sequences involving vehicles in recent memory. Of course, that chase comes to an explosive conclusion when these two big-rig semis meet in a massive head-on collision seen here in glorious slow-mo with the help of some of the best CGI that 2003 had to offer. Speaking of being an unapologetic fan, here's another one of my personal favorite franchises. I love everything about Mad Max and the 4 movies that exist in his world. The movies provide some of the best vehicle designs ever done for a film, and of course the latest movie is a masterclass of filmmaking. But let us not forget the Road Warrior and what it brought to the table. The end of the movie sees Max driving a heavily armored semi-truck straight towards the gang leader known as Lord Humungus, resulting in this head-on collision unlike anything you may have ever seen. The car driven by Humungus is decimated instantly in one of the most gratifying car crashes on film, while the semi-truck careens off the road onto its side. It's one hell of an ending. Number 3 is classic James Cameron with an iconic scene from one of his most well-liked movies, Terminator 2: Judgment Day. The new liquid metal T-1000 is chasing the original Terminator and John Connor through these urban canals. Now the crash is what we're here for, of course, but the entirety of this scene includes a fantastic jump of the semi from a bridge right into the canal, and then of course Arnold Schwarzenegger on his motorcycle also jumping from a bridge. As the chase gets further along, the truck is torn up pretty bad along the way, ending up in this horrendous collision with a bridge structure. And no Hollywood car collision can end without the appropriate explosion to finish off the scene. This was a tough one. There's so many great car sequences throughout the entire Fast and Furious franchise that it was hard to pick just one for our list. So instead, we went old school to the original movie and chose the ending crash that defined the series and the future of the people that Dominic Toretto called family, particularly Brian, played by Paul Walker. This scene marked the first time we see Vin Diesel survive an absolutely brutal crash, this time in his beloved Charger, and yet walk away unscathed for the most part. These crashes become a hallmark of the series as they get more incredible with each outing.
That's not what I had in mind.
And our number 1 goes to part 2 of the Grindhouse movie set done by Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. Death Proof by Tarantino is an original story about a stunt driver who murders young women using his supposed death-proof stunt car for fun. In this head-on collision, it shows the simultaneous deaths of everyone involved through a series of cuts, ending with a wheel decapitating an individual, missing limbs flying from the wreckage, and even more of the gore that Tarantino is known for. The good news is that Kurt Russell does get his in the end from some of the very women he tried to murder. So there's our top 10 movie car crashes. Tell us down below which ones we've missed and which one is your favorite. I'm Jason Dean for the JoBlo Movie Network, and thanks for watching.